Rise and shine, it's a brand new day. Ken can take the stage, ready to play. Weekdays at 10, the cars and the scene. Coffee in hand, they're living the dream. Aggression in the voice, got the whole town awake. Bringing fire to the mic, make no mistake. Shows in the corner, spitting out facts. Dropping truth bombs, ain't holding back. Ken in the morning, feel the heat. From 10 a.m. CST, can take a seat. Live and loud, that break in the mind. Light up your speakers, crank up the sound. They're talking about life upside down. Opinions exploded like a sonic blast. In the studio, they're built to last. With passion and grit, they engage and ignite. Every single week, they're a force can't fight. From sports to politics,
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good morning. Good morning, Ken. Good morning, Fred. It's Super Bowl weekend. Can you believe it?
Yeah. Give me a bit to finish sharing this out. And you know how I was saying that, I wasn't too excited with this one because we just saw it 11 years ago. That's unfortunately not even the only fucking similarity.
Uh-oh.
The similarities between the last Super Bowl between the Patriots and Seahawks in 2015 and the Super Bowl now in 2026. The Seahawks are the betting favorites. Josh McDaniels is the Patriots OC. Seattle has the best defense in the NFL. Seattle's safety was hurt in the practice the week of the Super Bowl. The Patriots are wearing white jerseys. The Seahawks are wearing navy jerseys. NBC is on the broadcast. Chris Collinsworth is on the call in the home stadium of an NFC West team. And, of course, played on a Sunday, but that's a given.
Similarities. Good morning, Jeremy.
So I'm glad I'm not the only one here that's sitting here thinking like, dude, this just feels like a retread.
Well, I don't know. And they got Bad Bunny at halftime.
Oh,
What an appropriate name.
I'm wondering how the fuck this Super Bowl is gonna go, because we have two damn good defenses, one outstanding defense, and then you've got second-year quarterback versus a quarterback who, for the majority of his career, he was the butt of every joke.
Yeah.
To where we've also seen Drake May win a couple of games when it wasn't him that won them, it was the team. So I want to see, are we just going to see two defense beat the shit out of each other until we get some kind of score? Or are one of these guys going to take up the freaking cape and cement their legacy a bit?
I wouldn't mind a defensive battle, to be honest with you. We haven't seen one of those in a while.
Nor would I. I'm all for it.
Yeah, by the way, Jeremy, if you want to swing by the house, drop me a line on Facebook too, because we're watching the game over here. If you want to drop on by, brother.
See, I thought that was going to be your Packers neighbor.
No, he's coming over though. The Packers neighbor will be here. No, Jeremy's CVMA with me. So, but yeah, we're having a small gathering here at the house.
Hey, Ken, take your mic and bring it closer to you.
We're having a small gathering here at the house. Sorry, it's been a crazy
beautiful. Now you sound crystal clear. I don't feel like I'm sitting here listening like this. Hey, what's up there, chicken nugget?
Yeah. Whatever. I had a busy morning this morning, okay? It's still going on, so I'm multitasking as we speak.
Oh, God, so that's why there's smoke coming out.
Signing documents. But,
hey there, Joe. I was starting to get worried about you, man.
Sorry, guys. I've been super busy. I was up till 4:00 in the morning the night before last because I was basically developing this theological position, sort of I guess you could call it a synthesis, and I sent it to one of my professors because I think I may have potentially solved an issue that's basically had people arguing like for about 120 years. Like it's had theologians in my church arguing for about 120 years, and I may have potentially found a solution to it. So
Uh-oh.
I sent it to my professor to have him peer review it, and then I also sent it to the religion department, the head of the religion department, to have him peer review it as well. So
Did it have
Well,
anything to
fucking
do
know,
with
that's
people
fucking
going?
awesome.
Did it have anything to do with people going to the octagon?
no, no,
No, this
Yeah.
isn't going to be in the octagon. This one's going to be in the parking lot, and we're just going to use shoes as the ring. Oh my fucking Fred, he really is Joe Rogan. Oh. But yes, Fred, back to the other comment. You want to see if Pete Carroll and Marshawn Lynch is in attendance. I want to see if we're going to get a full repeat of the Super Bowl 11 years ago. But it'd be fucking hilarious if it was New England this time. But seeing
Drake May throws the pick on the end zone, like right on the goal line. No, you know what would be even funnier than that? Marshawn Lynch has a sideline pass. He goes over to Drake May and laughs in his face. Or in Mike Vrabel's face. He laughs in Mike Vrabel's face.
I'm all for that, but I want to see Marshawn Lynch with a sideline pass. Let's have this happen again with the Seahawks. But before it happens, have him go running over to the coach and start fucking screaming at him for the coach to call the timeout. Okay, Lynch, we'll run it this time.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, like, we're gonna watch the game here. I don't know how. We're just not as pumped up for this game as we normally are. It's just like, I don't know. It feels anticlimactic for the season that's gone on. You know what I'm saying?
Not for me. I actually think it's going to be a good football game. Like, I mean, do I want the Patriots in there? No, but like Mac Jones has earned it, man. Like he's had, I feel like, an MVP season. Or not Mac Jones, excuse me, Drake May. I don't know why I was thinking Mac Jones.
No, I mean, no, I don't disagree. I agree with you, Joe. I mean, look at the Patriots story is they earned it, and I'm not saying either team didn't earn it.
No, I know.
Saying, like the storyline. I don't know. For me, it's just falling a little bit flat. I hope it's going to be a good game.
Mhm.
But it just the overall feel for this game is a little flat for me, and I don't know if it's because of all the extra crap that's gone on. The Belichick thing, the Bad Bunny thing, all that stuff. I don't know.
Ken, I have a theory for that. I would venture a hypothesis that it's because we've had Kansas City in the Super Bowl for the last 5 or 6 years, so you've always had somebody to root against. Whereas here, you don't really have a rooting interest, which is why it's so disinteresting.
I mean, at least they got it partially right yesterday with the Hall of Fame inductees. That Evan Vinatieri is the first ballot, right? That's great. Breeze, Fitz, Roger Craig. Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Roger Craig, Evan Vinatieri, and Luke Kuechly all get in. I'm cool with that overall, even though I think Witten was a snub.
Yeah, I think I would have put Witten in before Luke Kuechly just because of the length of his career and his overall like stats and accolades. Like Luke Kuechly only played like 5-6 years, man.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, but during those 5-6 years,
Yeah, he was the best. He was the best at his position. I'm not doubting that. But Witten was also top 3 to 5 in his position too.
Yeah. I mean, Breeze and Fitzgerald, okay, and then Terry, right? Vinatieri is obvious, I think, for a lot of reasons. I'm not so sure. I'm sold on Roger Craig and Luke Kuechly. I mean, egregious. I'm going to say that this is not egregious. It's not. But
well, I don't remember. Was this Luke Kuechly's first time eligible?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, it wasn't.
But
I
What-
don't
what
know
makes-
about him being the first ballot.
putting Roger Craig in the Hall of Fame is not egregious. Putting Roger Craig in at the expense of Bill Belichick is egregious. That's
Yeah.
my opinion.
I agree.
Roger Craig was a good player, man. Like, let's not get it twisted. Like, that 49ers team, they had so many superstars that, Roger Craig might get lost in the mix, but that dude was a solid contributor, man. I know because I grew up with those Raider Niner games, and Roger Craig was pretty good, man. And Tom Rathman too. I mean, Tom Rathman was
Roger Craig though getting in I mean, okay, his last year of eligibility. I'm sorry, that's a shit argument. When Belichick should have gotten in because Belichick is obvious, right? Oh, but it was his last year of eligibility, and he didn't get it all those other times for a reason too. So I mean, I'm not upset he's in, but I'm upset. But putting him in over Belichick to me is egregious.
Yeah.
I mean, this. Oh, I'm gonna let him in 'cause this is his last year of eligibility. Well, you had all these other years you could have let him in, and you didn't for reasons. So it's just kind of bullshit.
It almost seems like somebody was really pounding the table for Roger Craig, and like they got a bunch of other voters together and talked about it, and like, hey, look, like, who are we going to leave off the list this year so that we can let this guy in? Like,
Joe,
And
just
you
so
let
you
in
know,
the winningest Super Bowl coach in history off. Yeah.
the wind was missing you yesterday.
But in Witten, I think Witten should have gotten into, but maybe he gets in next year. I don't know.
yeah, Brent Jones, man. But as far as the game goes, I mean, it's Friday. We should probably like get into the game a little bit, the actual X's and O's and the matchup, right? Like,
I suppose
it's an
I mean, look,
interesting
the
game.
NFL cares so little about the game, they didn't release anything Hall of Fame related about the inductees until last night because they wanted that to be the discussion today and tomorrow because that's how flat the Super Bowl is. I mean, this will be a good defensive. I think this will be a good defensive game. Neither offense. Well, okay, I shouldn't say neither. Seattle's offense has potential to be more explosive than New England for me, right? JSN presents all kinds of crazy problems. In fact, the receiving core. Talk about the Shaheed trade deadline move was brilliant for Seattle.
Mhm.
He presents a huge problem for New England. New England offensively, really, Drake May's a bunch of easy completion kind of guy. They do make some great plays every so often. Don't get me wrong, because every time you say that, somebody goes, yeah, but what about this one catch here, this one play here? Great. Yes, every team has that capability, but they're not consistent like that. Consistent big team play team. So, I mean,
But Drake May has developed, in my opinion, a pretty good relationship with Keyshawn Booty. And I think that's, I mean, Keyshawn Booty is not JSN by any means, but he's capable of making some plays. And TreVeyon Henderson, I mean, dude, he's a rookie. Imagine being a rookie and you're in the Super Bowl, your first year playing football, dude. Like,
and have a prominent role.
And and you're the starter. You're one of the, you're going to see a lot of playing time. I actually think, to me, I think TreVeyon Henderson is actually the X factor for the New England Patriots. I think his big play ability, his ability to hit the home run is something that Seattle is going to have to watch out for. I think they're going to have to be very, very disciplined in their lanes. They're blocking, they're tackling scheme. Their zone scheme or their gap scheme, I should say. Forgive me, I don't know why I'm having a brain fart, but they're going to have to be disciplined in their gap scheme, and they're going to have to be gang tackling, dude. Because if he gets in the open field, he can hit a home run.
I mean, Seattle's defense, though, I don't know how much of a problem New England's offense presents to them. Like, you just got done with Matt Stafford in that offense with that good receiving core, and they have a good running back room, which I think is a better offense than what they're facing. By the way,
Yeah.
Chicken Nugget, if you follow me on X, I can send you the link. All right.
I
Just
was gonna say,
follow me on
or
X.
now that JB's here, JB can just send it to you.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
if you follow
can.
me if you follow me,
And I just followed you on there too, Chicken Nugget. So next
But
time we
I
won't
would-
have to go through the rigmarole.
I would make the argument though, Ken, that like even though you're right technically on paper, like Seattle is a much better offense and probably a much better defense. Like teams have a tendency to play up to the level of their competition in big games like this. So I wouldn't be surprised if New England's offense actually, especially like I said, to me, Trevion Henderson is the X factor in that offense. Like his ability to hit the home run ball, you can be disciplined all day. All it takes is one missed tackle and the guy's to the house.
well, I
Mhm.
mean, I get that, but it's like they just played an offense that had the same capabilities and actually had more of that capability. I mean, great. New England has Travion Henderson who can hit a home run ball and break one. Okay. The Rams had a couple wide receivers that can do that. They had 2 running backs that can do that. They have a quarterback that can just make crazy crap happen. I mean, they just played a better offense. They literally just beat a better offense. So I mean, yeah, Fred. I mean, is it going to come down to a bad officiating call? I mean, honestly, this game to me is like I think the NFC Championship was a harder game for Seattle than this game. Now, look, that means that maybe there could be a letdown for Seattle, right? For the Sea Chickens there. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's why this game to me seems so anticlimactic. It's just like I'm not getting that. Oh, yes, it's a Super Bowl vibe. It's just
Yeah, but again, there's the X factors for a reason. No, and then also I agree with you. Like, yes, the Seahawks did beat probably a superior team last week. In the sense superior to the Patriots, not superior to them, right? Like I feel like the Rams and the Seahawks are pretty evenly matched, but I think that if New England can be aggressive on defense and can take away the passing game, like Seattle shifted it through about halfway through the season. For the first half, they were like a really heavy passing team, and then all of a sudden they just switched it and started becoming more of a running team. But if they can force Sam Darnold into making some mistakes, I think that anything can happen.
Hey, Chicken Nugget, I just sent you the link on X.
In fact, I would say like I think they almost have to. I think New England almost has to force Sam Darnold into some mistakes. Otherwise, they have the potential to have this game get away from them.
I mean, this is the exact same thing that. Okay, I don't disagree with you. Let me preface it with that. I 100% agree with everything you just said, Joe. But you know what? That was the exact same game plan basically for the Rams.
Everybody
The Rams
said
had to
that
do
about
the same thing.
49ers. They said it about Philly. They
Yeah.
said it about the Rams in 3 straight weeks. And what has Sam Darnold not done under pressure? Thrown a pick.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm not saying they're going to succeed. I said I just feel like they have to succeed if they have to be able to do it if they're going to win the game.
But they just did it 3 weeks in a row while he was under pressure, is what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I mean, look. I mean,
Right.
honestly,
And no, I understand what you're saying, JB, and I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm saying is it's sort of a lose-lose for them because I feel like without doing that, without getting Sam Darnold under pressure, they don't have a chance. And even if they do put him under pressure, he's already succeeded under pressure for the last 3 weeks. It's kind of a tough spot for them, is what I'm saying.
But I was gonna say we also can't forget that narrative too, of Sam Darnold. We saw it last year with the Vikings. Now he has proven the exact opposite this year, but it would still be sitting there nagging in my head a little bit.
Just
Not a
throw it
bit.
away, Sam.
Yep.
Just throw it away, Sam.
No. You don't understand. Sam Darnold has already put last year behind him because he's got the memory of a goldfish. He swam to the other side of the bowl. He's looking outside from a different window now. He's not looking outside from, oh my God, my O-line sucks so bad, I'm going to get hit 80 times.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Ted Lasso, aka JB. Memory of a goldfish. I love that line from that show.
Chicken
I think
nugget.
we got it.
What's going on, fellas?
Yeah, we got a bit of an echo coming from you.
Yep.
Oh,
So you might have to.
you might have to mute until you talk.
There we go. Perfect.
So when we ask you something, we'll let you answer.
Yep.
Introduce yourself. Tell everybody where they can find you.
hey, I'm Chicken Nugget King, and you can find me at X at Chicken Nugget King 313, which is Chicken Nugget King CNK 313 Sports, and right here at Chicken Nugget King 313 on YouTube with 353 subscribers that I just made today. So it is amazing to be on the show with my good brothers Ken and Ken the Morning, and let's talk some Super Bowl. Let's go.
Absolutely, man.
So we were just talking about.
We, you got to mute.
you
gotta mute
after
each talk.
I just did it.
Oh,
yeah.
So
I got you.
we were.
Okay.
Are you sure? I think we still have an echo.
Oh, we're
Oh
good.
no. Okay. All right. So we were talking about the challenge for the New England Patriots because I was saying I feel like they have to be able to pressure Sam Darnold to have a chance in this game, but Sam Darnold, that's been the game plan now for the last. JB brought up that's been the game plan for the last few weeks. Is we have to pressure Sam Darnold, and he's performed extremely well under pressure. So my point was, well, then it's going to be a really long day for New England. Like they're sort of forced to pressure him, but even if they pressure him, you have to hope that you can force him to make a mistake or two. Like.
And New England has to do something that the last 3 weeks nobody's done. They have to score 30 plus points. New England hasn't done that in the last 4 weeks. What do you think about that, Chicken Nugget?
If I'm not mistaken, from that AFC Championship game, they played a low-scoring game, like 10-7. So I think this is going to be a challenge for them going against a team that can really run up the score, with the offense that they have. And if K9 can get it going in the backfield, then he can definitely, help, Sam Darnold flourish and hit the right passes and make sure that his, team gets connected with 20 to 30 points in this game. And I think defensively, it's going to be more of a fundamentally defensive game than it will be an offensive game. I understand offense is going to do what they're going to do, but defense is definitely going to take control of the game.
I do have breaking news. Jim Brown, the Browns defensive coordinator, Jim Schwartz, has resigned.
Oh, we knew that was going to happen. We already knew that was going to happen.
Well, I was going to say that was speculation. We were still teeter-tottering a little bit with it.
Viva Las Vegas.
No. Okay, well, now we've heard enough from Joe for today.
What do you think about that, Chicken Nugget?
Muted?
Sorry.
Is it? Oh, yeah. I honestly think from, the whole panel, obviously, that we all knew that this move was coming. Like, especially with the Tom Monken hire, he was definitely gone. That should have told you he was going to leave, that he was going to definitely, pack his bags and go. But as for Minnesota, to me, honestly, realistically, they're definitely kicking themselves in the foot for letting Sam Darnold walk out the door. You let him walk out the door and get big bank and go to the Super Bowl within a year. Crazy work. And as for the Browns, they better figure things out.
Hey,
Brent,
at
DC.
Brent, Fangio decided not to retire, so they're not. He's staying there in Philly.
He was debating on it. He walked away for a couple days and stepped out of the building and came back.
We broke it yesterday that he was staying. So, he's
Jim
staying.
Schwartz to Vegas.
Yeah, I think that's about the plan there, Joe.
It
makes sense too. Actually, what is it, JB?
He's actually still under contract for 2 years, so he can't come back as a DC, but he can come back as a defensive advisor to any team he wants I say he should
Actually,
walk right over to
he
the
could
Steelers.
probably come back. Remember, with these rules though, they have all kinds of weirdness. Like if it's a promotion, he can. There'll be compensation picks probably involved, but
I wonder
there's
would the workaround of that be having him come over as DC to also be assistant head coach? Because
Yep.
I
that's
don't
what
know
I'm
if he
saying.
held that title there in Cleveland.
That's
I,
that's the
I don't think
workaround right there.
that's the workaround. There's always a workaround.
Mhm.
So I
All
mean,
they
that's
have to
like
do is make him defensive coordinator,
that's like
assistant head coach, and he's in.
It
well, that's
can't
like
be the
what
same
people
title.
yesterday like. That's like people like, oh, well, they can't do anything because of cap. Yeah, okay. Yet they always do something, even though we all say, oh, they don't have the cap space, because there's always a workaround. These guys find ways. If they want to get something done, they get it done. You know, look, Schwartz is gonna if he's gonna have a job if he wants it, and they'll find a way to get the workaround. I mean, I just technically via the rule book, sure, there's something there, but there's always a way around it. There's always, you know, it's like the salary cap argument. Oh no, they can't do that because they don't have a salary cap. Yet then they magically do, and we all go, but they didn't have the salary cap. Yeah, because there's always a workaround, guys. We know that.
The,
I mean,
the work.
how many
the work-
times do we have to see this to get the idea of, you know, that it can be done?
He can't be named defensive coordinator, is what I'm saying. That's the workaround. So it's either assistant head coach, but his defensive label has to be secondary defensive assistant or senior defensive assistant.
It could
It
be
cannot
offensive
say
coordinator / assistant head coach. Boom, worked around. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to do it.
Right. I'm just saying it can't be
Also-
the same title.
Yeah. Also, I'm sure you guys saw this, and I wasn't here yesterday, so maybe you brought it up. But Jay Glazer broke a story that Max Crosby is asking for
Yeah,
a
we
trade.
broke it. Yeah, we talked about that yesterday too, and you know, and that's where that's Joe. Yeah, because you missed yesterday, and we'll talk about that after the fact, there, sir. But no, I mean, we talked about that yesterday, like with some of the trade possibilities. Like, oh yeah, but salary cap, and that's why I got into that whole salary cap thing, because there are a couple teams that, in theory, you know, or I could see those teams wanting to make a move and spend, right? And then it's like, oh yeah, but they don't have salary cap. They'll find salary cap. If the Bears want to do it, they'll find salary cap. If the Lions want to do it, I don't think they have to try that hard to find salary cap, but they'll find salary cap. Whatever team wants to trade for Crosby, if that becomes a real thing, and they're cap in a closed cap, they'll find a way via restructures and this and that. You know, so I mean, there's 20 teams that have inquired about Max Crosby. So, you know, now is that going to change now with this new news? I don't know.
No, because
We'll
it's the
see.
20 teams are the 20 teams that want him. That's what it boils down to. You know,
Yeah, but no, but now if Schwartz is coming and they get Kubiak, does he maybe have a conversation with them, and that whole idea of maybe I want to be traded gets walked back? Quite possibly. We've seen that happen before. We'll see. That'll be
I don't
something
know,
we'll
man.
be definitely monitoring.
I think once you he's sort of pulled the Devontae, man. Like once you put it out there in the open like that, I don't think there's any going back.
Let's not forget Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
He said he wanted to be completely out of Cleveland because he wanted to chase a rain and all of that. Where is he now?
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, because for him, it's not about the bank. For him, it's about I was upset with the way the coaching staff and everything, and they handled everything. And so now the Raiders go back and say, look, new coaching staff, new situation. Let's talk it over. Let's calm down. And cooler heads could prevail. And, you know, I think, you know, you look at for Max Crosby, he doesn't have a head coach to talk to right now. He doesn't have a DC to talk to right now. Come and say, hey, Max, look, yeah, that was jacked up, dude. You know, look, give us a chance. Let us prove to you. You don't have to pick up and move. You know, we've got this whole plan built around you, and they can do the you know, get on knee, kiss butt formation, and Max would be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but to the inverse, let's not forget last year, Max Crosby also said He didn't want to be part of another rebuild. And now
Yeah.
you got another new coaching staff coming in for what, the third year in a row now?
Yeah, but I don't know if they're in a full rebuild though, because they've got a lot of talent. They do have some.
Yeah, it might not be a full rebuild, but it might be the straw that broke the camel's back is kind of what I'm getting at.
And no, Ken, you make a very good point. Like the Packer fan, Ken, I actually tend to agree with you. Like he did say he doesn't want to be a part of another rebuild. And while Ken the Bear fan is right that this isn't a true rebuild, like maybe it's just it's another coaching staff. It's another year where you're not looking at going to the playoffs because you're putting in a new system on both sides of the ball. But to me, the thing that should have occurred to Max that's different this time is that the Raiders are getting a quarterback. Like they're solving the quarterback issue, which has been a huge issue for a long time. This isn't like firing AP to get Pete Carroll and you're going with Geno Smith. This is like you're starting something here that has the potential to take off. This is what you've been waiting for, and now that the Raiders are finally doing it, you want out. On the other hand, as much as I don't want to lose Max Crosby, I'll say this: if you're going to trade him, the time is now because you're never going to get the value that you're going to get now. Like next year, you won't get the same value. So,
and we have a jag off in the comments. Good morning, Yinzer. I mean, look at though. There's some teams though. Like I said yesterday, if we're gonna talk Max again, the NFC is probably the destination the Raiders want to send him to. Teams that could be in that, obviously Detroit. Obviously, Chicago both have a need for an edge rusher. Chicago more so, maybe in some circles, we'll say Chicago more so than Detroit. Here's a dark horse that we didn't talk about yesterday: San Francisco. Yeah.
Oh, why?
They're not.
That's something you should ever put out into the universe.
They're not a dark horse. They're actually like they've made their interest known. They want Max Crosby.
And I heard from my circles, I heard they made one of the better offers for him.
Yeah, I've been hearing they've been doing the full court press for him too. I just don't want us giving any extra credence so this shit happens.
I think if the Raiders, if you can get multiple picks, be it first, second round, third round, whatever, and a player or two maybe involved in that, then you want to do it in the NFC. You'd rather not see him in the AFC. That's just the conventional wisdom, right? So, look at Atlanta, they could be on that, or even, and they'll find the money. The Buccaneers, Carolina, there's a lot of teams in the NFC who would be
I think the Lions have. I think the Lions, because of Max Crosby's hometown love there, I think they have a really good shot. He did say he'd like to play for Vrabel, but I don't think they'll trade him in the AFC. But I got to say this as somebody who's grown up hating the 49ers my entire life. If we trade Max Crosby to the Niners, dude, I don't care if they give us 5 first-round picks. If we trade Max Crosby to the Niners, that's going to break my heart, dude.
It'll break mine too.
Well, yeah, especially because look at some.
Well, yeah, because the Packers already can't beat San Francisco in the NFC Championship. No more than we.
So some fans, look at San Francisco. That's a bigger rivalry to them than same to the Chiefs. I know some of you guys don't remember the Cross Bay,
the Battle of the Bay, man.
Yeah, that's still kind of a thing, even though they're in Vegas now. That's still a thing. So, yeah, look at this Max Crosby thing is gonna be interesting. I'm wondering to see who's willing to break the piggy bank. And look at, if you're the Niners, you make sense because you are a playoff team. The Bears are a playoff team. The Lions, for all intents and purposes, are still considered a playoff. Mm-hmm. I consider them a playoff team. In fact, any team in the NFC North is a playoff team at this point to me, considering everyone won 9 games.
Yeah.
So, the NFC is going to be strong in this pursuit. And if the Bears do it, it's a game of one-upsmanship with the Packers. If the Lions do it, they're bringing the hometown kid home, and it's a little one-up, let's right the ship kind of thing because they missed the playoffs this year. So there's some really good storylines that could be possible in the North. I think the least plausible of the 3 North teams is the Vikings, because right now you don't have a GM. Right now you need a quarterback. Right now your defense is good. I mean, then what? You're sending Gennard for Crosby? I mean, that's kind of a tick for tacky kind of thing in a way. No, Gennard's not as good as Max Crosby, but you know what I mean, though. It's just like, why would you do that? It doesn't make as much sense. So the Vikings make the least amount of sense, probably, of them. Oh God, the Eagles. It's something that he would do, dude. I could
That
see
is what Rodman would do.
But
I mean, and look, what do the Raiders need, Joe, on offense besides to go with their quarterback?
Well, they need to address the offensive line first and foremost, and they're going to do that in free
something they can
agency.
get in a trade from the Eagles.
A wide.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying. AJ Brown.
yeah. You get AJ Brown on that deal. That's a good way for them maybe to take care of a media issue in Philly.
They'll give you at least a second-round pick with them.
Oh yeah.
All right, but Chicken Nugget, since we haven't heard your thoughts on this yet, what do you think about all this Max Crosby talk here? Yeah, you got it. Yep, there we go.
Yeah, Max Crosby being a hometown kid, it makes sense and he's all about making it to the playoffs and being locked in. And it's 20 other teams that has so much, interest in him. So that's great to see. But time and time again, you don't want to fall off the mountain. You guys know how that is when you're in NFL. You don't want to fall off the mountain and rebuild over and over again. So it's only right that he steps out of his comfort zone and go back home, or whether go back to Chicago. So whoever gets the best offer has a chance to make this Super Bowl and win a championship. That's the guy that's going to make your defense be even more elite, be number one, in fact. So Max Crosby, the number speaks for itself. I respect the guy. So if he fits in with Aiden Hutchinson, and go take a shot at him. And speaking of that, Aiden Hutchinson said he would love to have, Max Crosby play alongside him.
Oh yeah, he did.
I'm sure Montez Sweat would say the same thing. I'm sure that,
I'm sure 90% of the teams that have one great defensive end,
Micah Parsons would be saying the same thing. Like,
shit,
Micah Parsons is saying, "Wait, you want to put me with Max? Yes, please." And
dude, I would take Rashawn. I would take Rashawn Gary and toss him over to fucking Vegas myself.
So, and you look at like Chicken Nugget that brings up a point though. Like, look at this point in your career, if you're Max Crosby, you're thinking, okay, I need to get into the dance. Yep. I need to get to a championship game. So that's why the North is appealing, because you got at least 3 teams. And Fred, I agree with you on the Vikings to a degree. The Vikings only issue they need to solve, and it's a big issue, I grant that, is quarterback. They've got a good defense. They've got a lot of offensive weapons. Now look at J.J. McCarthy next year all of a sudden plays well. They're a playoff team, right? So, I mean, or if they bring in a veteran quarterback or whatever the case, but if they solve the quarterback issue in any way, shape, or form, they can be a playoff team. But if you're Max Crosby, you are at that point, you're like, I want the ring. So the Bears make sense with Caleb. The Lions make sense with that team with Jared Goff, and they're right there too. The Packers make sense as well. Those 3 teams in North make a lot of sense. And you know what? All 3 of those teams have the capability to make the trade. And in other words, they have the resources to pull something like this off.
But that AJ Brown for Max Crosby, and the Eagles would still have to give up picks because he's a diva and a locker room distraction. That might be more attractive than a buttload of picks from somebody.
Oh yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. That's why I brought it up, because like you're gonna have a quarterback. You've got a great tight end. That Joe wants to put a gold jacket on down there.
No, he deserves a gold jacket. I don't know what you're talking about.
You've got a good young running back you drafted last year, but what do you lack? A wide receiver. Well, if you get your quarterback number 1 and now you add AJ Brown, now you're cooking with a little bit more butter. Now you can take some of those additional picks and start drafting O-line and draft D-line, other pieces that you need. That's what I'm saying. Like that makes a lot of sense. The Eagles are still going to have to send A.J. Brown in the 2nd and 3rd or something. I think if I send A.J. Brown, you don't necessarily have to send as many first-rounders. Go ahead, Chicken Nugget.
And to piggyback off that, like you get a chance to see Fernando Mendoza work with AJ Brown. That's something that he would like to work with. That would be like a pick. That would be like a blanket for him. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is build a good offensive line, get him AJ Brown, and he'll be good to go. Just need some more wide receiver depth too. You know, not just AJ Brown. You know, at the helm. So that's a nice attraction. You know, Las Vegas.
As a Raider fan, let me just say this: the reason why AJ Brown would be so attractive for the Raiders is not just because Fernando Mendoza would have a reliable number one. It's because it would take the pressure off of the young receivers that the Raiders just drafted last year to have to step into that role. It would allow them the opportunity to grow into their roles in that. Because the Raiders just drafted 2 receivers last year, Jack Betch, who didn't play a whole lot, but he had some nice catches, and Dante Thornton, who, if he can put it all together, that dude is going to be amazing. He's 6'5", runs a 4.3. Like he's a field stretching nightmare, but you know, he made some nice catches early in the season and then started dropping them. So if he can put it together, you know, I think he has the potential to be a good number 2.
Let me add this, because Fred puts us in there, and look at, if Romeo Doubs hits the free agent market, Raiders have money. You get AJ Brown a trade, you sign Romeo Doubs, you get your quarterback number 1 overall. Now Dobbs is a true number 2 who gets to act like a number 2 instead of trying to be a pseudo 1. And then you've got AJ Brown, who's not going to bitch and cry because he is the number 1 and will get number 1 status in Vegas. I mean, all of a sudden Vegas has an offense. Like, boom! Like,
I was going to say, if they could work that out, that sounds like a fucking dream offense. Shit, that's what I would have wanted in Green Bay. We remember me advocating for AJ Brown multiple times because I think he would work great with freaking Romeo Doubs. Shit, even this year when he was having all those issues, I was still going for it.
Now look at there. Here's another one.
Romeo Doubs doesn't work out.
Even though I've been against this overall, what if the Bears throw in DJ Moore to the Raiders?
You know why Romeo Doubs doesn't work out? That Guardian cap has its own gravitational pull.
I'm just being honest. Like, and I know the Raiders, I'm not speaking for the Raiders. They might be interested in DJ Moore. I would rather have Rome Odunze than DJ Moore, because Rome Odunze at least.
Rome Odunze. I mean,
well, then I guess we wouldn't have a deal, because that's my thing. Is like, I don't want DJ Moore after he jogged that route in the NFC title game on the last play. Like, I don't want him anywhere near my team.
I'm going to disagree with you on jogging the route. I agree with Caleb, where Caleb's like, he said, I mean, I don't know how many more times Caleb has to say it, or Ben Johnson. DJ ran the route he was supposed to route. There was a miscommunication between him and Caleb, because Caleb wanted him to flatten out while in the play, and for some reason that signal didn't get to him, and so he ran the route he was supposed to run, and he would have been open. So okay, take that for what it is. But I mean, still, if you're the Raiders, DJ Moore is a quality wide receiver, and depending on what the other compensation they throw in, I mean, these are the things that the Raiders are looking at. You're looking at possibilities where, and to be honest with you, are the Eagles even willing to trade AJ Brown? Who knows? But you could see a possibility where you're getting like a guy like an AJ Brown or a DJ Moore, or I don't think Detroit would want to send JMO, but maybe a guy like JMO as part of a package deal, a good wide receiver and a pick or a couple picks, even second, third rounders, whatever. For Max Crosby. Okay, well, maybe not JMO, but St. Brown, whoever, but a wide receiver is the point I'm trying to make, JB, okay? It's not that, you know, usually we tend to think it's draft pick centric with these trades. But in this case, you've got a couple teams who could possibly give up a receiver, which would make it more enticing for the Raiders, because all of a sudden they can instantly fix the offense. So, like, you know, now the Niners don't really have that to offer.
They do.
How about the Rams?
They got Ayuk.
Ayuk, yeah.
No, I'm good. How about the Rams send Devontae back to the Raiders for Max Crosby?
Wow.
Just so he can languish on the bench for the rest of his career.
So there's some possibilities there. This Max Crosby thing, I mean, God,
but I want to ask you a question, Ken. I want to flip it back on you, because you said there's no chance that the Bears will give up Rome. So if DJ Moore is such a quality wide receiver, why is it that you would rather give up DJ Moore than Rome?
Because youth, it's more the youth side of it, upside of it. I mean, look, I think DJ Moore is a big part of this Bears offense. To be honest with you, I think losing him or Rome hurts. Even with Luther Burden there. However, though, if I'm looking at where they're at in their careers, I would rather give up. If I had to give up one of the two, I'd give up DJ because Rome has more longevity. Even though
Mhm.
DJ is, still has less injuries in his career than Rome does.
Not,
Um,
not even
but-
just that, but the connection that Caleb Williams has with Rome versus
Yeah.
DJ. I am
That
not
too.
moving off of that. Him and Rome seem locked at the hip.
They've been locked in the hip since they've got on an airplane from Southern California to go to the draft.
Well, that's
You know
why
what
it
I'm
took
saying?
so long for them to sign. They were waiting for the bunk beds.
Yeah. So I mean,
And,
that's
and
the other-
Caleb has the pegging tool on it.
But see, but you see, the Raiders have to be thinking the same thing that you're thinking, though, Ken, which is we can get DJ Moore, who's already has a few years in the league. He's already on a big salary, or we could get a guy like Roma Dunze, who is on a rookie contract and has years and
that's
years
the
of
other
playing
reason
ahead of
why
him.
the Bears don't do it though, because of salary cap constraints at that point, right? You're going to get rid of a rookie contract for a big Max Crosby contract. Now you got to work more magic. But DJ, I mean, I get what you're saying. You'd rather have Rome than DJ, and I don't disagree with you. Should want Rome more than DJ probably. But the questions be what are teams willing to part with? Like, and the only reason I think the Eagles are willing to part with AJ Brown's because of the diva shit. So okay,
Yep.
do I get a diva guy who's like this big media diva, or do I go with if I have to go with one of these older guys, or do I go with DJ who does so much more than just run routes? He does blocking, he does mentoring, he's a good team guy. So he's not a diva guy in the media. So I mean that's what I'm saying, and that's if one of these teams is going to include a wide receiver in it. We're dreaming that up because look it fits needs for the Raiders. The Raiders need a wide receiver, and that's why we've kind of all come up with these ideas. Because even with the Niners, well, yeah, they could throw Ayuk. I mean, the guy they already said is never going to play another game in uniform. He didn't play at all this year. So,
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Because Matt Stafford, the way he played at the end of the season, lost his team the division, and Drake May earned the division.
Yep.
If you're going to talk about which one was more valuable to their team, Drake May was more valuable to the Patriots this year than Matt Stafford was to the Rams. And I'm sorry, because Matt Stafford cost games with pick sixes.
Yeah.
Stafford also won games on his back. Drake
Less
May did
games
it.
than Drake May.
Yeah, Drake May didn't win. Put the team on his back to win games like Matt Stafford did.
I was going to say there were a few games he most certainly did.
There was
Yeah.
like 6 games where he rushed in the game-winning touchdown this year. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I'm in the Drake May camp on this one. I think he deserved the MVP.
But at the same time, I got to go do my show. Chicken Nugget, I'll send you the link if you want to join me.
Oh,
But,
absolutely. I'll join for sure.
But what I came in to say was congratulations to Joe Thuney of the Bears for winning the first ever Protector of the Year award. That was what I was coming in here to say, but then the breaking news happened. Have a good one, guys.
Yeah, we'll see it.
That is maybe. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying the Bears are out of it, and again, I don't speak for the Raiders, but I wish I did speak for the Raiders because if I'm trading Max, I want a young piece that's going to be here for 10 years. Like that, if you're going to give me a player, I want a young player that's going to hurt you to give them up, not because it's going to hurt you like as far as record, but because I
Right.
want a guy that you don't want to give up. Because
Mhm.
that's how
Well,
it
that's
is for
what
the
I'm saying. I don't
Raiders.
think
Like
the
I don't
Bears
want to
wanna
give up Max.
So look, I think the Bears don't want to give up DJ Moore, though. To be honest with you, I don't think the Bears want to. So for them, they don't want to give up DJ Moore. Like I said, DJ Moore does a lot more than catch balls. A lot more than catch balls on this Bears team. He's a key piece to this Bears offense. And I know there's some Bears fans. Oh, but this, that, and the other. But he doesn't have the numbers, dude. Look at the game tape with all the blocks he throws. Look at all the other things he does on this offense. He is an integral part of this Bears offense. Even when he's not receiving the ball, he's creating offense for others. Like DJ Moore is not a guy I'm saying I'm just throwing him out there. Like that's a significant move for the Bears. They do not want to get rid of DJ Moore at this point in time. Luther
about
Burden's
Luther
not
Burden?
there yet. Rome's not there yet. DJ is still bringing these guys up. And he does a lot of things. AJ Brown is a little bit more of a throwaway for the Eagles because of all the problems he's brought them in the media and everything else. Ayuk is the same thing for the Niners. I mean, they already said he's not going to. He's probably played his last game in the Niners uniform. They want to get rid of Ayuk, so that fits your argument. You've never heard Ryan Poles or anyone in the Bears organization say anything bad about DJ Moore. If anything, they all rush to his defense. Poles does it. Caleb does it. Ben does it. DJ's not a guy that this when I throw it, and I even prefaced it. I don't even want to give away DJ, but a lot of Bears fans are talking about trading DJ. That's the only reason I brought it up. Because I don't think the Bears want to get rid of DJ.
Yeah,
so
but
it would be a hurt for them. They would
what
be
if
hurt.
okay, but what if the Raiders said, nah, instead we'd rather have Luther Burden and a higher pick?
They'd say, go take a long walk off a short pier. See you later. Bye-bye.
See, that's what I'm saying. But like I wouldn't
You
go.
wouldn't
If I
give
was
up.
the Raiders
You
GM,
wouldn't give up a Luther Burden for a Max Crosby.
No, I don't think they would. I don't know if I would, but I don't think they would. I mean, Luther Burden's the most efficient wide receiver in the NFL. Was the most efficient wide route runner in the NFL last year. I don't know if they would. I mean, I guess once again, it depends on the rest of the compensation, right? Luther Burden was your first pick in the second round. So, okay, if I'm give you Luther, who could be a 1, it depends on what else they have to give up. So, with any of these wide receivers we're talking about, it depends on what the rest of the compensation is. Now, if you want to do it straight up, they'd probably be like, yeah, sure.
Straight up, no way in hell. No way in hell.
I know, Ken. I know. But I'm saying, if they said, well, we'll just do it straight up, they'd be like, okay, sure.
I was good.
But if it's like, hold on, let me finish the thought,
Yeah.
Ken, before you jump in, because I mean, I know no one's going to take that. That's obvious. So let me go through the progression. If they said straight up, they'd be like, sure. But if they said, hey, we want Luther in a first, they'd be like, probably no. But if it's like, how about Luther in a third? Maybe. Or Luther in a second? Possibly. But they're not going to do Luther in a first. Now, would they do DJ in a first? Maybe. Right? So that's what I'm saying. That depends on what the different combinations of compensation would be in that situation. I mean, it's the same thing for the Lions. Like, you know, they'd have to give up JMO or they'd have to give up St. Brown in that scenario. You know, if the Raiders want a receiver in return plus pick. You know, so would the Lions be willing to give up St. Brown in order to get Max? Probably not.
they'd
Would they
be
give up
foolish to give up
JMO?
St. Brown.
Maybe.
Yes, but what we're talking about relatively in the league, and not we as in us, as in like the general, is that Max Crosby is going to go for multiple first round picks. If you were trading Luther Burden, that would be saying that you think that he would be worth multiple first round picks if you wouldn't offer him and a first round. I could give you that he's worth a first because of how he played. I'll give you that, but not multiple. To where we're given a third round, a second, maybe if you're combining it with maybe next year's like second round pick too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you know, and look, let's be real here. There's only a couple teams who have the capability in a trade to give up a wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what the Raiders really want, there's only if that were, and we don't know if this is what they want, but if it were, there's only a couple teams that have the depth at that position to be willing to give up a good, not a throwaway player. I mean, a good quality, you know, plus receiver. And that would be, you know, AJ Brown. The Bears could do it, and they'd probably want to. It would be DJ Moore. Would be more likely to keep the youth thing going with Caleb, and the Niners. But the Niners killed themselves with what they've said about Ayuk, and the fact that Ayuk didn't play the entire season doesn't help. So, you know, what other teams are deep enough? The Vikings could pull it off with Addison, because that they don't know if they're going to have the money to re-sign him. You know, that could be something. I mean,
Ooh, I would take
know,
Addison in second.
yeah, I mean, the Packers don't have anyone at wide receiver because the best one, I mean, Dobbs is going to be a free agent unless you do a sign and trade deal. But why
I
would
was
you
going
do
to say
that?
Watson, you might be able to make an argument, but I don't think it's a good argument.
Right. So, I mean,
I'd much rather just take the flyer on him because we'd have to dump so many freaking picks with it that I think it'd be useless at that point.
And if you're going between AJ Brown and DJ Moore, you know, which one's less of a diva, which one's more of a team guy, which one's
I'm taking
more
AJ Brown.
team-friendly? DJ Moore, is friendlier for your team, though. He's not the diva.
He's not the diva, but he's not AJ Brown either.
Yeah.
I know. But I mean, but if you think about it, those might be the two wide receivers we're talking about, if any at all, in a potential trade. We're talking a bigger name receiver. Those would probably be the two names.
See, I actually would rather go for Luther Burden. Like if I think being just, to me this is a fair trade. I think if the Raiders were to say like, okay, give us Luther Burden this year and next year's first. Like you get to keep this year's first. Your next year's first, once you add Max Crosby, is going to be near the end of the first round.
They'd be willing to do that. They may be willing to do that. I don't know. Like I said, it's a tough call there. Luther Burden, look, it's attractive for the Raiders. I get it. DJ Moore is even attractive. Let's be honest. They're both attractive. AJ Brown's attractive. If this is part of what they're thinking, the question if you're Ryan Poles is, I don't know if Poles wants to give up the guy he took in the second round last year. I mean, business sense, it kind of does make sense. But I think the Bears think with him, they got a first rounder in the second round, and Green Bay took the wrong guy. That's how the Bears probably feel. And the way last year played out, it looks that way on paper, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, for them, they're thinking Luther Burden's worthy of a first rounder at this point. He was the fourth pick or fifth pick in the second round, and he played better than a lot of guys who were taken in the first round. So in their eyes, you're getting at least a first rounder. So maybe if it's like, the Bears, you give us Luther Burden and next year's first, they might consider that because business-wise, I don't think they're losing out. But I think they'd rather do DJ Moore also because, remember, now you got the money pieces that have to fit. Like, so if in an abstract where money doesn't matter, like, I think you're right, Joe. In a lot of ways, it makes good business sense. But now in a league where money matters and you've got salary cap considerations, DJ Moore makes more sense because you swap out some of his cap hit for the cap hit you're taking on with Max Crosby. This is where the money pieces of that come into play. So that's another piece that has to be looked at for the Bears.
True.
Burden,
there's another side. There's another side to that money argument, though, which is that Max is arguably top 5 at his position, but he's not paid like a top 5 guy at his position. Max's contract is actually $27.5 million versus Michael Parsons $40 million.
Joe, you're not wrong. Joe, you're not wrong, but in terms of making a deal work, that doesn't matter. It's what's actually on paper that matters. No, Ken, I mean, seriously.
Are we going to say that plays a part in it?
Think about this not in terms of, he's a top 5 guy, not paid top 5. Great, got it. But then you get down to the fact of the balance sheet and what money's available. That's what matters at that point, not what he is and doesn't get paid. It's what he actually does get paid and where your salary cap is. I mean, the value, I get that. They know that. But the problem becomes, okay, how do I make this work in the constraints of the salary cap that I've got and stuff like that? That makes a huge sticking point. So like Luther Burden, kind of in a way, you can't make that deal because of the salary cap constraint now, because now you're adding Max Crosby's contract, and the money you're subtracting from Luther Burden is a drop in the bucket compared to the Max Crosby contract. Whereas DJ Moore, that $25 million, eats up more of the Max Crosby money. So that's where that comes into play. And I get it. Joe's 100% right. You are getting a top 5 guy not making top 5 money, but the money that he is making still matters in terms of making that trade actually happen.
Yeah, that's a very valid point. And that's why I think the Bears would be more willing to deal DJ Moore. But the Raiders also know that, is what I'm saying. And they're like, nah,
right.
Like we understand your cap situation, but we want the potential of having a wide receiver that's going to be here for 10 years instead of a wide receiver who's going to be here for 5 years.
Yeah, and that's why that trade the Bears would probably end up just walking away at that point because they'd be like, well, no, we're not, we're not going to do it then. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's not like they have to make this trade. I mean, and the Raiders have to be careful too, because if they play too hard a ball, then they're not going to get any trade at all, which may not be a bad thing, honestly.
I was going to say, oh no, we get to keep Max Crosby.
Well, if the trade falls apart with the Bears, it's not like there's not going to be other people beating on their door to have.
No, and look at that, and it's not even like any of these wide receivers might even be involved in the trade. right? It might be they just want draft picks. We're just making a wild assumption because, hey, they could really use a wide receiver, so that's why we're dreaming this up. Anywho, guys, enjoy the Super Bowl. We'll be back Monday to talk about the Super Bowl. It was what a crazy day today ended up being. We'll see y'all Sunday, and have a great Super Bowl weekend, guys.